Go ahead and call this meeting to order at 6:35. First item is pledge of allegiance. Pledge of
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, the first item is approval of February 1st meeting minutes. Any questions?
Yeah, okay.
I want to make sure, I know we was having a little trouble there. I just wanna make sure.
No, I'm good now. I got it out.
All right. So do I obtain a motion to accept the minutes?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, Mr. Councilman Bryant makes a motion to accept the minutes. Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay. Caleb seconds, so I have a motion and a second to accept the February 1st, 2018 minutes. Any discussion? If not, all in favor?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
All right. Okay, the next thing is approval of February 20th work session minutes.
These work session minutes say there was a meeting on Sunday at 1:30?
They wasn't.
They were going to.
What I was gonna say, I didn't get notice of it.
All right, so do I obtain a motion for the work session minutes? Okay. All right, Caleb Gay makes a motion to, for the minutes. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, Andrew a second. Any other discussion on this? Not, show of hands. Okay. All right. The next item is approval of the February financial report.
I suppose this Deep South A&G truck is repairs on the dump truck,
Yes. It's Drake Killer.
and Chris Mays is the one that was looking at the back of the building.
Well, he's actually the one that repaired the roof and the back there as far as the cap. So,
I thought that's who it was, I just wanted to make sure. I'm a little concerned why and no offense to you, but please understand, but I'm a little bit concerned on why that doubled this month.
Well, that was actually for last month. She wasn't going to write a check until she got it cleared of what the council agreed on. So she put in 15 hours more. And we budgeted for that. We assumed that was going to happen.
Well, I guess I'm just asking what was different that month than the previous month that it jumped.
Well,
for
actually she
February.
had, well, this is actually for January. Is that not correct, Bubba?
Yeah, correct.
For all the work she did in January, she didn't get paid.
Well, why what? I guess my question is why? I mean, I can understand why it would have been more in January, but this is saying that it's for February, so that makes it very confusing.
Well, Well, because the council didn't agree on it, so she didn't wanna write a check until she found out, cause I wanted to make sure everybody was on board with paying her the $20.
When we agreed to do the contract, we agreed to pay her extra for a learning curve or for her to get acclimated to the systems. So it shouldn't have been an issue, but it just concerns me that it doubled.
Well, I will let the council know that, there's a lot of work that's gonna have to be done over the next couple of months, so it will be higher for the first couple of months. Getting everything in order. Okay, any other discussion?
Yeah, you basically approved her to assess what work needs to be done, and then she does those hours, and then,
Well, she's allowed, her pay is based up to 15 hours a month.
okay,
And then anything over that is $20 an hour.
Right.
That's what we agree. And of course, she's done a lot more than that, just trying to get, do it. Okay. And like I say, once everything gets set up, it will go back down.
yes, sir.
Okay? All right, any other discussion?
I'll make a suggestion on this profit and loss that we're doing every month. Instead of doing it just for February, in order so that we can see if we are staying in budget or not, I know the system will do it, but take it back from January 1 to the date. But that will give you a
Okay.
yearly total so that you know
Okay.
how much the
All
budget.
right. Her and Natasha is working, and once we get the online version done, then that was when it'll start showing what that is, and hopefully by
Okay,
next month.
but it can be done now. I mean, it's just a matter of going up to the top and clicking the dates. That will give us, I'm just trying to say, that way we know whether or not we're staying in budget. I don't think that's,
Okay. All right. Like I said, she didn't know that you wanted it that way, and by next month, it'll most likely be that way after we get everything loaded up. And last year, the only thing we had was this check register, so I think this is an addition to that, so I mean.
Randy, I'm not saying anything about last year or complaining. I'm asking, can that be done so that we can make sure we're staying on budget? That's all. So it don't matter what was done last year or 10 years ago, it matters what we're doing now.
Okay. All right, move on. All right, do I have a motion to accept the financial report for February?
Make a motion to approve it.
Okay, do I have a second?
Yes, sir.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? All in favor? Okay. All right. Okay. All right, before we move on, I would like to make a statement. I would like to apologize to the citizens of the town and community, ones that are watching on Mary Knows Pickens. I think last meeting got too heated and stuff, and I apologize. So from now on, we're going to stick to the subject, and if I call you out of order, you're out of order, and we're going to stick to the subject, and if not, you'll be asked, to leave. Does everybody understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And I hope it don't come to that we have to have law enforcement here.
Me neither.
So, all right. So under old business, the undeveloped streets, we'll go ahead and table that to a later date. Repairs on Town Hall. I'll have a proposal at the work session at end of the month here to have quotes and stuff on the bids So like I say, that should be, part of that should be taken care of, next month. All right, next item is, issuing authority.
We got the letter via email, and it should be coming by hard copy. Did you get a copy to your email? They showed that they courtesy copy, but we have been approved.
Okay.
Our next step will be, we need Jeff to prepare the resolution on this one. And we need to let him look at the way the county worded it when we came out, so that we make sure we word it correctly to go back. Am I making sense? Because it was a very detailed resolution, it wasn't just a little simple.
No, the one I seen was simple. Jeff, I can get you that copy.
Okay.
Of what, was, presented to them.
Okay.
I have a copy of it. That's in the book. Okay, anything else on that? Okay, monthly maintenance, Chad?
Since I wasn't here the last meeting, the months of January and February, with the weather being the way it's been, being cold, being raining, kind of limits us to what we can do. It's been general maintenance of the park, bathrooms, pavilion, and just trash pickup. The weather stays the way it is, and we'll be able to get into doing some of the winter cleanup stuff from some of the winter storms and start getting into the grass cutting season for them.
Okay, all right, thanks, Chad. All right, the next item is Deep Fest camping. I've already been contacted by a,
Wait, you skipped something. Under
oh
new
yeah,
business
I'm sorry, I did. First item will be dividing up the projects for the council members. This way that we can get, some of the projects and stuff done that we need to get done. We talked about, James Bryant being on policies. Actually finding some policies and stuff on purchasing, card use, travel, and those things. And, I think a lot of your, our neighboring cities and stuff can help, because I've asked for their help, on some issues. And, Caleb Gay has, offered to take up the sewage or the septic issues, help, find out the cost and the direction we need to go on that.
Remember when you went to move that lady at the class? She was a mayor in a small town.
Yes, Nelson.
Nelson?
Yes,
Thank you.
Nelson.
Thank you.
And I've got her phone number too.
Yes, sir.
Like I say, I'll do the buildings and street maintenance. Andrea, said that she would help with filing administrative. Cheryl, you've always been on Heritage Days. I put Jessie down. Like I said, she
Have
wasn't
you
there.
talked to Jesse?
Well, she wasn't here, and I thought she'd be here tonight, but, that's it. We can leave her off for now, because I don't know.
I mean, go ahead, she'll probably help me,
But anyway, so if all that looks good to, people, and actually, one that's not added on here, he's not really a council member, but, of course, he's already over it anyway, but Chad, handled the park and stuff as far as getting that prices and stuff, if anything that needs to be done over there, you vote care of that. And, that should have pretty much everything, covered, of course, with no Buffy, and Natasha's working on the QuickBooks and stuff. If everybody's in agreement to that, would that need to be a motion in a second, for that?
I don't know if you're allowed to appoint committees per se. I guess it's really done by agreement. But if you're appointing them, I don't know if the council has to approve that or not. I have to look at your ordinance to see.
Well, we don't have anything.
If you want to make it official, y'all can vote on it.
Yeah. Well, officially, I think the way the way it reads is that, a council member technically can't sit on a committee. But, it's actually workload is basically what I was, trying to divide out.
I think it's probably done by agreement anyway. If the council member says, I'm not doing that, then
Yeah.
y'all can probably vote all you want, and it's not going to do any good.
Right.
So
I
everybody.
think you're good with doing it the way you've done it.
Okay, all right. Next item is Deep Fest, camping. I've been already contacted by a lady that wants 15 spots out there. And I told her I wasn't even ready to even do anything. I was surprised that she contacted so early. And, so, if I remember right, Kel, you were agreeing to maybe get some information up as far as how other people were handling camping.
I mean, I was just, trying to figure out, what about a release? Do we need a release if we're gonna have
Yes.
camping?
Yes.
Or does it, fall under, what do we currently have for the park?
Well, here's what we offered that last year, Jeff, and there was only 2 people that actually, one only actually showed up, another one called. And, what we was trying to do is generate some revenue for the town, through primitive camping out there. And like I say, we only had, like I say, very few. But this year, like I say, we were having more, so we do need a waiver, drawn up for that if we agree to do that this year. One thing is price. They're doing it, in different organizations for, 2 nights for, $15 a night, but I told them that wouldn't be it for us, because like I say, we have the outdoor shower and stuff.
I say no less than $25 a night.
Well, I was thinking,
If we do 25 a night, that's, 25 a night, 2 nights, we can get 40 spots, that's, $2,000. And then $2,000 if we fill it up. But if we can set some sort of, because we'll need to get, porta potties, stuff like that. I mean, I would imagine each spot, you'd probably say 2.5 people at least. And then I don't think 2.5 people times 40, we need to, not just those bathrooms, we could have a couple porta potties. And I mean, I'm sure I could get with some of the people who organize Cheap Fest to get us, some sort of a deal with them. But we would need to spend a little bit of money as far as getting porta potties.
Well, you don't have your own?
We have, not porta potties, we have the facility that's there, but, I mean, I don't feel like that's.
So what do you do for Heritage Days?
we use that over there and then some porta potties, porta johns, I guess. Now, when you offer primitive park, camping, it's pretty much, they don't provide a whole lot of anything, so.
I mean,
But I mean, we got those restrooms that, is open, that they can go to. But I mean, if you wanna look at one, I think one out there, if we're gonna even decide, would be plenty.
I was just thinking,
They usually run about $60, $65 a piece.
a day?
Weekend, ain't it? I mean, ain't that what?
Yeah, sometimes, they'll price it to you for the weekend.
I mean, I just didn't feel like that, say there's gonna be roughly 100 people, if we book it, 100 people with how many, 1 bathroom, 1 female, 1 male? That's a lot of people.
But there's 2 stalls in the ladies, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Y'all feel like that's enough?
Well, I mean, we could get one out there, but I mean.
Yeah, because, and here's my reasoning for that is, if we're inviting families, I know from experience how hard it is to get little girls quickly to the restroom that far away, so, one I think would be fine.
Yeah, just something on the far end.
Or in the middle or something, right there, yeah. I think so. All right, now, one of the ladies asked if, we had, showers, and I said, yeah, we had them over there. But me and Bubby had talked that if you done like 30 a night and say Saturday morning was breakfast, Sunday morning they have breakfast over at the Jeep Fest. Buffy, I guess you volunteered since you said you was a biscuit maker.
I guess I did.
Something simple, just eggs, biscuits, and maybe sausage and bacon or something like that. And some of the women folks, you know, would want a shower, and between that one and maybe one over here, and let them, you know, get dressed and stuff, you know, cleaned up here, while we're fixing breakfast on Saturday
Well,
morning.
we actually have 2 showers in
Yeah.
there.
So if we done 30 a night, and then Saturday, you know, Saturday morning would be, you know, breakfast, and then that would be the reason for the $30 a night.
But we can always, give them an option. When
Yeah.
they're booking,
Yeah,
25, add 5 to it, get breakfast, that way we'll have some sort of,
well, add 10 to it.
or
But
10 to
most
it.
of them do their own breakfast at their campsite, I mean,
That's what we can give them their option.
Yeah.
And then that way we'll know before they get, you know, we need to.
yeah, because we have to know, I mean, we don't wanna
Yeah,
come up short.
okay. So are we setting it for 25 a night without breakfast, 30 a night with breakfast? Okay. All right, so do I have a motion to set
I
that?
mean, is that gonna be $5 for the total party? Because they could bring 5 people, you know.
Yeah, yeah, I didn't think about that.
Well, I think.
I think it'd be $5 a head. What do you think, girl?
Yeah.
What do you
They're
think?
probably not gonna wanna pay that.
Mm-mm.
I mean, if nobody wants breakfast, nobody wants breakfast.
Yeah.
I mean,
No.
this is.
Well, I mean, you could,
I just think when you get into the breakfast, I just think that's gonna be a headache, a real big headache. And the possibility to eat up some of the profit that you're trying to make. I mean, I know it's a good idea, but from dealing with the Jeep Fest, it's gonna be kinda hard to determine.
I wonder if you get into any kind of help.
Yeah, see, and that's
They're
another
pretty
thing.
restrictive about serving food. I don't know. I don't know.
I think you can open
Yeah.
it up. I think
See,
you can.
this is not like Heritage Days. This, I mean, there could be issues with us preparing breakfast and serving it to them.
okay, well,
Let's just keep it simple, no breakfast.
I mean, Jeep Fest has on, what do they serve on Sunday morning over there?
It's usually Bojangles,
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
so.
Yeah.
I mean, we can do, you know, something like that, but anyway. I
Well, what we
think
could do
if-
is offer them a Bojangles biscuit. I mean, we could go get it for them while they're getting ready to go to Jeep Fest. I mean, that would be an option, and then we're not,
I mean, you could sell food somebody else prepared,
right,
or get it either way.
Yeah, you could have organizations, Cub Scouts, Girl Scouts, you could have churches, they could make stuff, sell it,
Yeah,
and give that an opportunity. I recommend just doing the flat fee, and I think you have to look at garbage pickup and restroom facilities. I think those are your 2 major things when you're doing an event like that.
I really think $30 a night, I mean, especially if you showers and, you know, stuff, I mean,
because the other places that are offering 15, they're, as far as I know, they don't have showers.
no, they don't, it's primitive. So I would set it for 30 and a hot shower and then, you know, if anybody wants it, then that's fine, you know. So does everybody agree?
And if you, we just need to, when you do your application that they have to fill out, put a spot on there whether or not they want breakfast and give them the option that we will be serving like Bojangle biscuits, and just let us know, you know, if you want them, if not, that way we know how many to go get.
All right, so do I have a motion to set the Jeep Fest camping at $30 a night?
Make a motion to set it $30 a night.
All right, do I have a second?
Yes, sir.
All right. So, Caleb Gay, made a motion, and, Councilman James Wright, seconded for setting camping, fee at $30 a night for Jeep Fest. Any other discussion? None, all in favor? All right. The next item is, some playground equipment. I run across this on, Facebook, Marketplace. It's a tube slide, it's called a hurricane slide, and then a spring horse, a riding horse. And I got both of those for $200. Town doesn't have to buy it, but I just offered to the town if they wanna buy it, but I pay $200 for the slide and the, spring riding horse, to add to the park out there. It's a cube slide that, called the Hurricane. I'd say
And if
that's-
you go buy them new, they're almost $1,000 just for the hurricane slide.
So, that's up to y'all, but I just found it, and I went ahead and got it, so y'all, I'm just offering.
I make a motion that we buy the playground equipment that Mayor Banks found and that it be installed in the park. We'll pay the fee of $200.
All right, we have a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
All right, have a motion by Cheryl Sounds and a second by Caleb Gay to buy playground equipment, a slide and a riding horse. Any other discussion? None, all in favor? Okay,
But I have another question on playground equipment while we're on it.
okay.
Are we in the process, and Chad, this may be a question for you, for replacing the swings that are broken out there? I think we have 2 of the swings that are broken.
Yeah, I mean, well, we need to look at all that out there, because, that'll be in his, project list for next month. So just make sure we look over all that.
Where do those funds come from?
And do we need to go ahead and take down the broken swings so nobody gets hurt on them? They've got them thrown over the top and they need to come down before somebody gets hurt.
Okay. Or you have the number and stuff, we'll get the, we've got some of that budgeted into, the Parks and Recreation.
Yeah.
All
But we
right.
also have the SPOS funds too.
All right, the next thing is, just, we gotta clear this up, as far as Clerk being an employee. I think from our insurance agent coming and talking to us that night, that work session and stuff, that, for her to be covered, that it needs to be, she has to be an employee, she can't be a contractor. And then if she's a contractor, she has to find her own liability insurance. My understanding, if I remember correctly, that that would be too high for her to afford. I think that's what.
From my understanding, that's what I got out of it.
So we make her an employee?
Yes. Well, I mean, I guess, that's what I'm asking y'all,
I mean, if the insurance is too high, then I don't think we want to keep it. There's any other option.
I mean, did anybody else hear anything different from that? Okay. So, what y'all?
I have to say, I disagree. I know from, working in there that when you become an employee, you're opening up a Pandora's box of other federal forms and stuff that's got to be filled out, and that's just gonna run up our administrative costs too, so. But that's just my personal opinion, I'm saying no.
Okay,
I don't
so,
agree with that.
What do you propose?
That it stay as contract labor. I mean,
Contract labor?
but now our insurance agent said that she wouldn't be covered. Is that not what you heard?
All I can say is that in the past, that's not what we've been told. And so I disagree with what he said here because that's not what the people in Atlanta told me. But I'm just one voice. Y'all do what you want to do, but I'm just voicing my opinion and saying no. Because I know what a headache this is going to be because now you've got to worry about all the federal forms and stuff that's got to be done. If you don't have any employees, you do not have to e-verify. So when you do this, you're going to have to e-verify. So,
Well,
you don't have to E-Verify, Randy, and they won't give you an E-Verify, because I went through that when I did the park grant. But I'm just voicing my opinion, and I'm saying no.
Okay, on the E-Verify, any contractor that works for the city, for the town, has to be E-Verified. It has to have a copy. I mean, that's one of the things that we learned over there in the class. I mean, each employee. Is that
You
your
said
understanding,
each-
Jeff?
You said each employee.
No, each contractor, any contractor does any work for the city.
And
Has
I
to be
understand
approved.
that, but what I'm saying is, when I filled out the paperwork for the grant, and I called down there to get the E-Verify information, but they asked me how many employees, and when I told them none, they said, we won't give you an E-Verify. Now, they may have changed it, I'm not saying they didn't, but I'm just saying they refused to give me one, because we did not have any employees.
Well, like I say, I mean, my understanding is we got to E-Verify every employee that works for the town.
Employee, that's the
No,
difference.
well, I'm sorry, contractor, sorry.
See, that's the difference, and that,
Okay,
if you can get one, more power to you, but they refused to give me one.
all right, so we heard what the insurance company said. So what does the council want to do?
I'd like to get a little more clarity on this issue. As far as, I'm kinda out of the loop. Do we have to E-Verify?
Yes, we have to E-Verify on all contracts. The city of Jasper has to. Everybody has to E-Verify. Now, that's my understanding, is that not correct?
Honestly, don't know the difference between employees and contractors. It wouldn't surprise me if contractors had to do it. But
Well,
I don't know for
anytime,
sure.
my understanding is anytime you get public funds, you have to E-Verify.
So it wouldn't surprise me,
Yeah.
but I've never looked into it.
Because all the cities, they have the E-Verify form when business owners apply for licenses and stuff. I mean, it's on their website. So,
I mean, like, I had looked at workers' comp issue. There are certain circumstances where your clerk's gonna be regarded as an employee anyway, like for workers' comp, because you direct that person's work. But you can call it contractor. There are certain laws that it doesn't matter what you call it, you know, like for that one. I guess y'all are talking about liability insurance.
yes, liability insurance is basically what we're saying.
Her actions wouldn't, if she kicks me in the shins, if I come into City Hall, then that's not covered
If she's a contractor. That's my understanding from the insurance.
we don't do that. But.
I mean, that's my understanding. And the issue is as far as her being, not the E-Verify so much as is she gonna be an employee or a contractor? And like I say, our insurance company, came in and said that she needed to be an employee to be covered on liability. If not, she would have to get her own, and then that she wouldn't be able to report it.
I recommend you make her an employee.
Okay, so are you making that a motion?
Yes, sir.
All right. All right, I have a motion from James Bryant to make, town clerk an employee. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
All right, I have a motion and a second on the floor, to make clerk an employee. Any other discussion? All in favor? Okay, all opposed? Okay, one opposed? Just make sure in the minutes, voted that you document who all voted. Okay?
And that I voted no. And please understand, that's nothing personal. You know that.
Okay, work session scheduled for the year so that everybody will know when it is and the public and the media will know also. Like to go in and schedule work sessions for the year. Does anybody have, I mean, we at least like to do it a week before the council meeting, if possible.
Why not do it the Tuesday and the week before? I mean, don't do it Tuesday of the Thursday we meet, but do it the Tuesday before. You see what I'm saying? The week before, the week of council meeting.
Does that give you enough time, Bucky?
Oh, yeah, as long as it's the week, a week before.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not the weekend.
Ralph, do you have any other commitments on that Tuesday?
Yep.
Okay. Can we do it Thursday before?
Thursday before, I'm good.
I'm not. And I'm not willing to give up that other commitment for this, so. But y'all can really watch, I'm just saying I'm not.
Is everybody in a position to do a working lunch?
No.
No,
What about, you, Mary, Tuesday, Thursday, the week before the,
That's just the week. That's when city council was doing theirs, but then they changed it. But then I was coming, leaving a camper, so.
okay. Doesn't matter to me.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah. Okay. So I guess it depends on, do we want Ralph to be here or not? That's
what about the Monday? Ralph, what about your Monday the week before?
Monday the week before is pretty open.
When is the next one, the council?
The council meeting is April 5th.
April the 5th.
So the Monday would be the 26th or 26th, 27th.
Mary, will that work for you?
I mean, for the most part, but
I mean, when you can't get a camera or something. How about you, Chad? I mean, you won't have to be at all of them, but some of them you'll have to come to. You got anything on Monday afternoon?
I don't know that far out.
So that would put the next work session being March the 26th.
That one I know I can't make.
Hmm?
That's the only one that I've got a problem with.
Well, I mean, he doesn't have to come to every one of them, but I'm just.
No, and I mean, we can always give him a copy of the minutes, so.
When's that other day?
And in April, it would be the 23rd.
All right, somebody make a decision, so we can move on.
I make a motion that we do it, have a work session on the Monday in the week before the week of the council meeting. I don't know any other way to word that.
That works.
And
Second.
then I can type up the schedule, so whatever.
Okay, all right, so we have a, motion second on the floor, to, have a work session on the Monday.
In the week before the council.
Yeah, in the week before the council meeting. Have a work session. Any other discussion? All in favor? Okay. All right, so now everybody will know when they are. Okay? deadline for a item to be put on the agenda, I think that should be the, I guess we should discuss that, or everything should be on the agenda, set on the agenda that Monday night. I don't see why we couldn't do that. And then anything for that meeting should be out by the Wednesday before. So that would be the 21st. So if anybody has a thing on the agenda or anything, they would set it for the Wednesday before the work session. For the work session agenda. And of course we can add anything too. Just give everybody a guideline what we're going to be talking about. All right, everybody. Agree with all that? All right. Do you want to? I guess that'd be more of a policy. Would that be more of a policy, Jeff, on the, agenda? So that'd be something that James would be working on. So we sort of tend to agree that what we'll do. Next item is email policy. Through that class, there's no email retention policy that the state of Georgia has. So Mary sort of need to know how long do we want to keep emails, before we start getting rid of them. And Jeff might have some light on that, but they said there was no policy, as far as in the Georgia archives or retention schedule, as of yet, anyway.
Up to y'all as to how long you want to be able to retain things.
I would just rather have the option to be able to put them in folders. Because there's times that I've gone back at least 2 years on our account and picked up information I needed.
But now y'all have to remember that when you use your personal computer or phones or whatever, they can be subject to Open Records Act. And they can go back, they're not supposed to look but for that items, is that correct, Jeff?
Right.
But they'll take your computer for a while, I guess, till they get it done. I think that's what we was told down there. I'm not. So anyway, we just need to be careful about how long we store those items, on that.
But wouldn't it be their own discretion? If it's on our computer and.
Well, it'd be up to y'all.
Well, I recommend I research it, and
Okay.
I'll reach out to 3 different other counties and
Okay.
towns that do it.
Yeah, that'd
And
be
then
great.
come back to the next working
Yeah.
group, I'll give you an idea
Yeah.
of what they're doing.
Yeah.
Because the government policy for senior leads and different, there's like a 3 to 5 policy for historical records. And it could go up to 10 years, but I know it's special circumstances for that. But I'll just get what the common thing that people are doing and find out why they're doing, if they have some guideline or policy that they're doing it for that, and then just come back to the council and brief that to you guys.
Okay.
And then we can, I think, make a discussion then.
Okay. All right. Okay. So that'll be under James's duties. All right. The next item would be April is cleanup month. Just wanted to see, what y'all wanted to do as far as we set it one Saturday aside to pick up large items, or do we want to? I think Nelson does a dumpster. We don't need a big dumpster, but a small dumpster for people to, clean up around the place. It's just ideas. Y'all don't have to do anything. stating that next month's gonna be a cleanup month, so. If the council wants to do anything as far as setting aside.
A lot of people participate in that.
Be honest with you, I don't,
Some have in the past, but I think part of the problem has been that a lot of people didn't know that we were doing it. I think that's where we need to put out, if we're gonna do it, we need to put out a newsletter and do it pretty quick so people know.
Right.
Because I know that Charlie in the past has gone and picked up old tires or a TV or, you know, something like that. So I would like to make a motion that we offer each household at least 2 large items that we would be willing to pick up.
okay, so now, do we just wanna pick up those items, so we don't wanna do a dumpster? I'm just asking. 'Cause
Well, I mean, it doesn't matter, I mean, either one.
I mean, I don't know, you know, like I said, I'm just offering, because I think Nelson does a dumpster. If I'm, you know, and I don't think we need to do a large dumpster, maybe a smaller, a half-size dumpster if we do one, you know.
How much does it cost to?
Well,
$275.
For the whole day?
well, for
The
the,
whole, or the?
Whenever, when it's full, I mean.
I think theirs gets pretty popular
Mhm.
when they're done, and I think they have a lot of people dumping stuff.
yeah,
And they put restrictions on it,
yeah.
Yeah,
no tires, no batteries.
yeah.
Well, as far as the tires, I think they're gonna do, and be on that for, 4 passenger car tires per household. So I could probably get a copy of their, Carol's gonna let me know about that, but get a copy of their driver's license and stuff and say, here's, these 4 tires come from this person. Especially elderly people that can't get there.
I have a question.
Okay.
Alright, we didn't do the small dumpster for Heritage Days because the truck would hold it. So why can't we make the truck available after y'all go dump the trash?
Well, we can do for a week. I mean, you know, for a week for people to dump on it. Yeah. I mean, that's, yeah. Yeah.
And then that saves us the $250 or $275 for the dump.
All right, so, what we,
Are you had made a motion, are you changing your motion?
Yeah, I'm gonna change my motion. Alright, but do we wanna leave it out? Do we wanna make it for a week or just do the Saturday? Cause you said on Saturday.
well, I mean, if we're gonna do the truck, I'd rather let people have an opportunity from, say, from, Sunday the 8th to Friday the 13th, or we could do a different week, but let them have for a, you know, people come down for a week, and that gives everybody an opportunity to do that.
Okay, it's the 8th through what?
Let's do the 6th, let's do the 15th through the 21st. I don't wanna do it on Friday the 13th.
15th through the 31st, 15th through
21st.
21st, alright. I make a motion that as part of April, being cleanup month, that we make our, sanitation truck available for people to be able to bring, items to clean up their property. But we would include no tires and no batteries and no paint, I believe, is that correct?
I think, I'll have to check with her, if
Okay.
somebody did ask about that.
But that we make it available through the 15th to the 21st.
A second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second on the floor to do the, participate in the April cleanup month, and have the truck available from April the 16th through the 21st for residents. Do I have any other discussion?
Do you need us as council members to volunteer to help out?
Well, I mean, maybe some of the, if somebody's not able to do
I'm willing to
that.
help.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right,
so,
all right,
whatever you
okay. All right, I'll get with you. So any other discussion on that? All in favor? Okay. All right. One other item that I'd like to, put on here is, in April the 12th, they're having a planning and zoning class down in Lawrenceville. I think it's $199. And, I think somebody needs to go to that, because, I mean, the county's in a lawsuit now over their planning and zoning with somebody, so I think to get up to date with the, what we can and can't do in zoning, I think somebody needs to go to that.
I think 2 people need to go.
Okay.
I know it's $199, but we need somebody in backup in case somebody.
I mean, I agree, but I wasn't gonna
This
try
thing
to.
with, well, I'm just saying it, because I think this is, very soon is going to be a very, active
Yes.
situation for us, and that's why I say we need 2 people, because everybody works jobs. I mean, well, James and I don't know what I'm saying. I would suggest that Caleb and Randy, since Caleb's gonna be dealing with sewage issues, and you're gonna be doing building and street projects, I think you 2 need to go if y'all are available to go.
Well, I can go, but, I mean, I don't know. I think it's, April the 12th.
That shouldn't be an issue.
And that's just a 1-day thing, right?
Yes, it's like a couple hours, I think. I'd have to look at the email, but.
I do agree with 2 people.
Well, I think so too, but I mean, like I say, I wasn't gonna try to push this issue.
Okay, I'll make a motion that we approve the funds to send Mayor Banks and Councilman Gay down to the planning and zoning classes in Lawrenceville at the cost of $199 per person.
I second that.
All right, we have a motion and a second to send me and, Councilman Caleb Gay to the, soil erosion training in Lawrenceville, April the 12th. Is there any other discussion? If none, all in favor? Okay. That's all I have. Lamar, do you have anything you would like to, say at this point, or?
Well, I would like to update the council on where the property owners on 136 East. I know you already have some information on that property. Based on some preliminary survey, I'll stand up. Based on some preliminary surveys that were done, some of that was in question because of that being a state highway. I met with an engineer from the state by the name of Donovan Tucker, who met me out there, and we basically talked about the requirements on sight distance, which is their #1 criteria. It's for everybody's safety. They require, that's a 45-mile-an-hour speed limit. Based on that speed limit, it requires 360 feet sight distance both ways. There's also, that's for a residential driveway. If that piece of property were to be developed into a subdivision, that turns that into a commercial entrance. The criteria changes, it goes to 500 feet sight distance both ways. Right-hand turn lane could be a left-hand turn lane based on some trips, how many houses going there, a lot of different factors. But, so at this point, the property owners, they're going ahead and listing the property. They're getting probably going to have a surveyor to come out and take some accurate measurements to pinpoint access areas to be smart about how to divide that property to get the maximum yield out of it for them. Meanwhile, they have given the go-ahead, I believe, to a timber company to come in and do a light thinning. That's pines so thick. Excuse me. But they want to have a timber company come in there and thin the timber out so they can see what to do. There's also, for that property, to be sold as a subdivision. It looks like, based on what Mr. Tucker told me, that driveway may have to come west. There's a hilltop there to get to 500 feet both ways. To do that, there's a big berm of dirt. That berm of dirt, one of the property owners has an idea of how he might can get rid of that berm of dirt, which would really open up the visibility of that entrance. The entrance that's there is actually deemed an agriculture entrance, and because it's agriculture, it's used less frequent, so it's not an issue. So in going forward, they are going to put the property on the market, put it back on the market. They're going to have some timber taken off of it. Meanwhile, they're going to get a surveyor there, and they probably in the near future would come back and seek some kind of approval from the council on splitting it. So that's as much as I know now.
All right, thank you, Mark. Any other public discussion remarks? If not, anybody else have anything? If not,
I'll make a motion, we adjourn.
Have a second? Okay. All right.